Good morning, this is Mike Dealey, Easiest Swinging Golf Coach, and today unfortunately the weather's not very good outside, so I was hoping we could hit some fairway shots, but instead we're on the driving range and we're going to do a golf quiz. Now don't worry, before you switch off, it's not going to be one of those golf quizzes where they say player A goes down the first and has an air shot and then finds out it's the wrong ball. It's going to be a golf quiz, just 5 questions, and the answers to these 5 questions will probably determine how well you play this year. This is a sign we've had up on our driving range at the Shropshire for 2 months now, and quite a few people have been asking us about it. So let me run you through the questions one by one. So the first question is, do you hit the golf ball with a club or with a swing? Generally we find people say, well, you hit the golf ball with a swing, but if you have a think about it, you do actually hit the golf ball with a club. And why that's such a difference is that when you come to practice or play next time, go with a mindset of trying to improve how the club is applied to the ball rather than your golf swing, because we've proved that your swing does not hit the ball. It's the club that hits the ball. And probably an example of that would be, let's say that you decide you want more distance this year, and you go on this big swing search to try and get more distance, more shoulder turn, more weight shift. The actual only thing that you need for more distance is more club head speed. So notice there, we're talking about the club, not the swing. So first question, do you hit the ball with a club or with a swing? Question number 2, what is your club head currently doing, and what would you like your club head to do? If you can answer those 2 questions, you'll be able to coach yourself when you go around the golf course rather than going to have some coaching. And that's wonderful for your confidence. So let me give you an example of that. For instance, let's say that you're currently topping the golf ball. And if you did a consensus among people and you said, what's the number 1 cause of topping the ball? Just have a guess what the answer would generally be. And people would say things like, I lifted my head, or I took my eye off the ball, or my arm bent. But here's the number 1 cause of topping the ball. The club hits the top of the ball. There's no other way to top the golf ball. Now, the reason why that's such a powerful way of saying it is it leads you down a road of answers now. So you then say, well, all right, the club's hitting the top of the ball. Well, then you ask, well, where would you like the club to hit? Well, I'd like the club to graze the ground so that it hits more at the bottom of the golf ball. Okay, so you're clear that the club is currently swinging too high and you would like the club to swing lower. That's very different than trying to adjust a part of your body on the next shot. It's much easier for your brain if you tell your brain what to do with the club rather than what to do with bits of your body. Okay. Number 3, is the practice you are currently doing making the game more enjoyable for you? Generally we find it isn't. And what you might want to consider this year is that practice doesn't have to be on a driving range with 100 golf balls. Consider practicing on the golf course this year. Find a nice quiet time, 3 or 4 golf balls on your own, and what you'll find is it's a much nicer environment than the driving range. And the other thing you'll find is that when you practice playing, you'll probably get better at playing. Question number 4, and this is a multi-part question. Choose which is better, motion or positions. I would ask you to consider that motion is what you are trying to achieve in a golf swing. That's why they call it a swing. people who are struggling with their game generally are very position orientated. And if you have good motion, that's why they call it a swing. Which is better, feeling or knowing? So, if it was knowing, the more information that you had, the better you would get at golf. And you've probably found that that doesn't work. We go on this search through YouTube for more information to improve our golf, and we invariably get worse. So it's not knowing that's the difference. What good players have is they can feel things with the club and with their body that we cannot currently feel. So next time you go to practice, simply go to feel what is currently happening with the club and your body. So hit a few shots and just see what's the thing that I notice most about my body or my club as I hit a few shots. Final part of this question. Choose which is better, freedom or control. Now, you need a little bit of both in a golf swing, but again, what we find, especially when people have lost their confidence a little bit, is they always go over to the control side of things, and that manifests itself in gripping tighter, swinging shorter, more tension, and I would consider swinging with more freedom initially. Sometimes that's why your game turns around after 9 holes. You have 9 holes trying very hard, holding very tight, trying to make it go straight. The second 9, you simply relax, swing with more freedom, and invariably have about twice the Stableford points that you had on the front 9. Final question. What's the difference between a golf coach and a golf teacher? Well, in my experience, I've been both. I have a lot more fun as a golf coach. When I was a golf teacher, people would come and I would tell them what they were doing wrong. They didn't get much chance to talk. I did all the talking. I showed them the latest swing system that I devised. Mostly it was what I was working on in my own game, or what the best players of the time were working on. The fact that the chap in front of me might be 68 years old and not 24, I didn't really consider. That's generally what a golf teacher does. What a golf coach does is he helps you find your own best golf swing. He's mostly quieter. He asks more questions. So your first golf session might start with a 20-minute chat over coffee, just to decide what would you like out of your golf game. So, 5 good questions for great golf this year. If you want great answers, you need to ask great questions. This is Mike Dealey, Easier Swinging Golf Coach. Enjoy your golf.